Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. Today I update you on a new Kaizer Chiefs player that it has been reported by Farpost that we are definitely signing this player. But like I'm going to tell you everyone, and I've been telling you, Guti, Chiefs is only most probably gonna only announce players next week. So as much as we are telling you that these players have signed, etc., Chiefs is not going to confirm it until next week. So understand that between now and next week, anything can happen. But this is coming from reputable sources, and they are saying this player is signed. But we also have some bad news that we have to chat about. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. Become a member. Contribute. Like I say, I want to buy the new Kaizer Chiefs keepers and get it to the members. But yeah, let's talk about the player who has signed for Kaizer Chiefs. He's a player from England. England, where you guys know all your favorite players are from, Wayne Rooney and all of these things. He's from England. He's played all of his career in England. I believe he even grew up in England. But fun fact is that he's actually a South African, and that's Ethan Cheslett. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but his name is Ethan Cheslett. The guy is 26 years old. He's turning 27. The guy is still a young player. And let me just tell you about his what position he plays. He plays more as like an attacker. So he plays more as an attacking midfielder. So like let's say a number 10. He plays more a number 10 role. He has played as a left wing, right wing, and he has been deployed as a striker and other times. But generally, it seems like his most preferred position is more as a number 10. But I think he's the kind of player who can play like Serino, play number 10, play right wing, plays left wing. Those are the positions that you can play him. So this player that I'm talking about, Ethan, the thing about him is this. I've watched his videos and I'm going to give you my 2 cents, but I want you guys to know that my 2 cents is not accurate because we have seen a lot of the players who generally come from Europe. They tend to have good careers in South Africa. Let's be honest. They tend to have good careers in Africa or in South Africa specifically. But yeah, the one thing I also wanted to highlight about Ethan is that he's played his career in England, but not in the EPL, not the first EPL league. So he hasn't played in that league. He's played in League One, and he's mostly been between League One and League Two. League One and League Two is not even the Mvela of that side. I want everyone to understand. It's not even the Mvela, because the Mvela of England is called the Championship. So he's played basically in the Vodacom, and if it was still there, maybe the Castle. I think those are the lower leagues that used to be there. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not even gonna say ABC Motsepe. The Motsepe names always confuse me. So I just know Betway, Mvela, Vodacom, Castle. That is how I'm going to describe it. And for those of you who don't know, because you're too young, just know that's how our leagues used to be structured back in the past. But yeah, this guy basically has been playing in Vodacom and Castle, which is basically 2 to 3 leagues down from the main league. So yeah, the question is out as to whether he will actually be good in Kaizer Chiefs, because the quality that he's been playing with aren't exactly the top-notch players. But someone will definitely argue that Dean Furman had a very good career in South Africa, but Dean Furman also played in those lower leagues. So I'm just saying, I'm telling you guys this so you understand. Uti, these guys may be playing in lower leagues in England, but they somehow are able to be good players in South Africa. And maybe the good thing that you guys want to hear is his goal contributions more as a number 10. Is the guy has scored 40 goals in his career, and he's further assisted 16 goals. The one thing I want you guys to maybe, an important thing to emphasize is that the guy is a free kick specialist. So the guy's goals are mostly coming, not mostly, but a lot of his goals are actually free kicks, because he's a free kick specialist. The one worry I do have about Ethan And I'm saying this now because YouTube videos don't do him justice in this, is I don't know his creativity as a number 10 and his movement of the ball as a number 10. Why do I say that? We've seen number 10s in South Africa, almost like Abotemba Zwane, Sirino, Dushabalala. A lot of them are very skillful or good off the ball. They are oftentimes playmakers. They are oftentimes players who have assists in them, a lot of assists in them. Ethan in his whole career has 16 assists. So a part of me wished he had like 40 goals and like maybe 30 to 40 assists, because then it can kind of tell you that he's creative in he creates a lot of chances, he releases a lot of through balls, etc. Because the truth of it is that I think this season, Du Shabalala at 21, I think let me compare to Rele. I think Rele this season has had more than 10 assists, if I'm not mistaken. We know Makhalwa has had about 12 assists in the league. Now I'm speaking about the league for Makhalwa. Makhalwa has had about 12 assists. I'm just showing you guys to show you that the our players oftentimes in one season have created more assists than Ethan has in his whole career. And that's more why I'm talking about the creativity. So it's something I'm questioning, but I'm not going to talk about it much until I actually see him play, because I have to see him play in South Africa with South African players with Kaizer Chiefs to really have a good opinion about him. But yeah, the that basically sums up Ethan. Do I think he's a quality player? I think he'll be a good player, but it's hard to judge at this moment because, like I say, the YouTube videos basically showing his free kicks and stuff like that. But I'm like, I want to see more. I want to see his assists. I want to see what he's doing. But he looks like he's a boy with pace. He has a proper right foot. He looks like he knows where the goal is. That's one thing I'll say. I think if I have to say, in South Africa, we don't have good shot takers. We don't have good players with good shooting technique, etc. So I think if put in the right positions, this guy is going to score a lot of goals. I see him scoring 8 goals in the Premiership in his first season. I see it's very possible if he plays a number 10 role or on the left, cutting in, because he scores very similar goals to what Lilepo showed last season. But yeah, the bad news for today is we have lost 2 players because reports coming in, one of the players was even announced, unfortunately, but reports coming in is that Ime Ukon and Sipho Mbule are no longer going to be joining Chiefs. Ime Ukon, because he's going to be a free agent on 30th of June, he is said to be finalizing a contract with some undisclosed team in Germany. So he won't be a Kaizer Chiefs player according to these reports. But it's saying finalizing. I mean, last week they were talking about Chiefs finalizing the Ocon deal. Now they're talking about an undisclosed Germany team finalizing. So the email Ocon one, I don't know at this point. I'm just accepting that because these are more recent news, I'm accepting that he might actually be going overseas. And then the next one is Sipho Mbule. Orlando Pirates has signed Sipho Mbule. This one is not a rumor. This is one we don't have to wait till next week when other players are announced by Pirates. This one is a fact. Orlando Pirates announced that they signed Sipho Mbule. You must remember, the Sipho Mbule one is very easy. You know why the Sipho Mbule one is very easy? Because the guy is already a free agent. So he can sign a contract already. So Sipho Mbule is already signed. You can even announce him now. So Sipho Mbule has signed. Good luck to him at Pirates. It's a bit of a tough one for us as Chiefs fans. A lot of Chiefs fans wanted him at Chiefs. Me, I was on the fence about it. I won't lie. The reason why I was on the fence is because Uyaphuza or Agaphuzi, I don't know. But we just know good. There have always been rumors around this guy of discipline. And I am personally, I love sit these players, but at the same time, I'm so scared of their discipline because the discipline can affect a lot of people. Why I say discipline can affect a lot of people is, Buffett, a player who lacks discipline is going to influence our young players. We have young players who already are under pressure. When I say already are under pressure, Dushabalala is under pressure from fans. Samkelo Zwane is under pressure from fans. Mfundo Vilagazi, next season is a big season for him because he could start being under pressure from fans. Aiden McCarthy, hey, he played for Bafana. He had one flop of a game. I'm telling you, he's under pressure from fans. Chiefs players tend to be under pressure from fans. So if someone comes who has ill-disciplined behavior and affects these boys or starts hanging out with these boys are going to start turning to things that they wouldn't normally do. For example, these boys may be trying to numb the pain of the pressure by drinking or by going around with girls or whatever the case may be, which is what makes me fear players that lack discipline, because it can really affect these young players that we have. And our team going forward, I think people need to understand. People may not like it, but going forward, Chiefs is always going to have a young player in a big young core in their team, because it's the model that Kaizer Senior has been trying to craft within Chiefs for a very long time, because they believe when the market becomes tight, you should already be pulling from your youth structures to get the talented players, which is what Chiefs used to do in the past. In the past, our junior Jabu Pule, all of Jabu Maslang, all these players, we used to pull from our youth structures, So I want people to understand that. But anyway, that's why I fear the discipline thing, because I've also seen players like Zongo. I've seen players like Lerato Chabangu. I've seen these guys keep getting second chances, third chances, and they've just failed because they lack discipline. And I've seen that they disrupt the team, because I think one thing that Farouk Khan once said about the Jabupul, or I may be mistaken, may not be Farouk Khan, but someone once said, Guti, the problem about these players that lack discipline is that sometimes the discipline hits you in the wrong times, because it was said that Jabu Pule once disappeared during a time when Chiefs had to play some of the most important games. I think one of the one of the seasons Chiefs lost the title, these guys had disappeared, and Chiefs eventually lost that title because the players that they had to depend on just went AWOL. They disappeared. And so that's why I want to say sometimes with players who are like ill-disciplined, they disappear. For example, Gaston Serino, beginning of the season started off hot. Then ill-discipline hit, and we were relying on Serino to get us goals, to be the creative spark. But then the ill-discipline rumors started coming out, and Serino was dropped from the team. And when he was dropped from the team, it was just tough for us going forward because we were struggling to create. Similar case, Njabulo Blom at some point showed the quality of being our best right back, ill discipline, or the rumors of ill discipline, and we ended up having to just play with Solomons, which wasn't Nabi's preferred player. And then I'm bringing all these things up so people can understand. But at the same time, I want you to also understand that Sipho Mbule is a quality player. If Sipho Mbule played for Kaizer Chiefs, we would have one of the most creative midfields in South Africa. I just want people to understand that Sipho Mbule is a star, Baba. He is a star player. I think Sipho Mbule is going to go into Pirates and he's going to deliver. I don't know how Kaizer is going to manage his discipline, but he's going to deliver. Why? Pirates itself is built on ball players. Their way they play is built on ball players. So Sipho Mbule is going to just slot in. Whereas Kaizer Chiefs, we still have to build. We still have to sign ball players. We kind of we have hard workers, we have grafters in our midfield, but we don't have people who are just naturally talented. But Pirates has that. Pirates can basically play a lineup that looks like Mbule, that looks like Maswangani, that looks like Kabelo Dlamini, Mahalwa, Rele if he doesn't go overseas in Kota, so Mbutuma, Mabasa. The creativity is gonna be insane at Pirates. But anyway, Buffett, let's just wait for next week. Next week, kuzoba nama chips amnandi. Amakhosi.